Jazwares has already made a few Plants vs. Zombies plushes, but they've all been based off of either the first or second Plants vs. Zombies game. But today we're going to be looking at a plush set that's made for the game Garden Warfare 2. So with that said, welcome to a look at the Jazwares Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 plush set. Let's start off with the first plush in this set, which is the Cactus. Now, this Cactus plush is actually really unique because it's the only Cactus plush that is based off of this design of the cactus. And overall, based off the design in the game, they did a great job making this plush. Jazwares did a great job making the body, making it more detailed because they're stitching to make the outline so there's bumps on the cactus, which is more accurate than basically any other cactus plush ever made. Also, they did a good job with the embroidery on the eyes, making it look accurate to the game. The only really bad thing about this plush is that the details on the top of his head are all made out of felt, so they could all get damaged easily because felt collects debris and dust. But besides the materials they're made out of, they still look really nice, and overall this is one of the best cactus plush I've ever seen based off the in-game design of the cactus in this game. One bad thing about this cactus plush though is that it's a little small, but besides the size of it and the felt details, this plush is great and has all the correct details on it and looks overall really good. Now, if you want this plush, look on eBay or Mercari, but this plush is quite rare and sells for a lot of money when it pops up on eBay or Mercari. Now, that's actually the only plush in this set that's a plant, so yeah, there's no other plant plushes in this set, so let's move on to the next plush in this set, which is Super Brains. Now, a fun fact about this plush is that this was actually my first ever Plants vs. Zombies plush that I got. And overall, it's a pretty good one, and Jazwares did a pretty good job making all the details on it look nice. The face overall looks really good and has all the correct details on him, except for the bad thing about this plush is that the eyes are made out of plastic, so they could get chipped and damaged. And the teeth are also made out of felt, so they could collect debris and dust. Now, the body on this plush, I actually don't know what material it's made out of, but it's made out of some sort of nice material, and it overall holds up really well over the years, and I barely see this part of the plush with any damage on it. They also had nice embroidery on the gloves. And overall, the rest of the plush's clothes, on the legs and stuff, overall look really nice and are accurate to the game. Overall, this plush is just like the cactus, where it's super accurate to the game, except there only was one bad detail about it, is that it's really small. It seems like every single plush in the set was made super small by Jazwares for some reason, which isn't accurate to the game, but I would rather them be a little bigger, but besides that, these plushes are great. And a weird thing about Super Brains is that he's the only plush in this set that has a bootleg made of it. And this is the bootleg. It's quite obvious when it's a bootleg as well, but uses the wrong tag. Also, the material used on the clothes are made out of some really cheap material and could get damaged really easily. The face is also for some reason really big, and his mouth is usually wide open on the bootleg, so that's another way to tell. It's also a 10 inches tall, which is not accurate to the size of the actual plush. One thing that is weird about this plush though is that it sells for a lot of money on eBay, which means that these people are probably making a lot of money selling this bootleg because for some reason a lot of people think it's real. So yeah, if you see a stock image on eBay of this plush, definitely don't buy it because it'll most likely be the bootleg, and the bootleg falls apart within a week or two because I have seen some reviews of it. They basically just fall apart easily because they're made really cheaply. But now let's go into the final plush in the set that was actually released. There are a few prototypes, but this was the last one that was actually officially released, being Dr. Zomboss. Now, Dr. Zomboss is probably the best plush in the set due to the details on it being really good. This is also the only normal Dr. Zomboss plush. The head shape is really accurate, same thing with the eyebrows. I'm pretty sure the eyebrows also have cardboard in them to make them stand up and look better overall. Just like the other plushes, the teeth and the eyes are the only really bad part about this plush because they're made out of bad materials. But besides that, the rest of the plush is great because the clothes are really nicely made and have all the correct details on them, and also he just looks really nice overall. Still, really the only bad thing about this plush is its height because it's really small and not accurate to other zombies made by other companies, so they're really small compared to them. There's also a second design of this plush that has a really wide open mouth. I would definitely not recommend getting this version because overall it just looks really weird and is inaccurate to how the plush is supposed to look. But yeah, overall this plush is really good, but it sells for a lot of money on eBay and Mercari, almost $100 for this plush because it's the only Dr. Zomboss plush that was ever made for the normal Dr. Zomboss variant. But yeah, that's all the officially released plushes, but there are two prototypes in this set. Let's start off with the first prototype being Squash. Now, the first thing you'll notice about the Squash plush is that it looks a lot like the World Max Squash because it's probably based off that. And this plush probably wouldn't look like this if it was officially made because prototypes usually look different from their official release, but we'll never know because we only have this one image of it. Overall, though, it looks really nice and it has all the correct details on this plush and has some nice embroidery. It just looks almost exact to the World Max one, which is probably why this plush was cancelled. Because I'm guessing PopCap didn't really want two of the exact same plushes made by different companies, so yeah, that's probably why they canceled this plush and didn't officially release it. But now let's move on to the last prototype plush in this set, being a really good one, being the Foot Soldier Zombie. Now there's actually two designs of this plush. I'm going to start off with this version with like these big plastic eyes. Now this is the only image we have of it, and well, it's just the head of it, and even part of the head is just blocked out, so there really isn't much to go off of this plush. First off, the helmet looks really nice on it, and overall it looks like it's made out of a high quality material and has nice embroidery on it, but that's all we could really see of the helmet. The eyes are made out of plastic, so I'm guessing those could get damaged, so yeah, that's really a bad thing about this plush, but the rest of the plush overall looks really good. The only really other bad thing about it is that for some reason the skin's like a dark gray color when it's supposed to be a light gray, but overall it looks pretty good from like the one picture we have of the head of it. And I do wonder what the rest of the plush will look like, because overall the Foot Soldier Zombie is a pretty interesting looking zombie for the rest of the plush, so I wonder how it would look. But now there's the second design of the zombie, which has smaller plastic eyes, and that's really the only change about it. Once again, we only have one image of it, and well, this is all we could see of it. It's also really blurry because it's from like far away, so we can't really tell anything about it. Except that it's slightly different with like the mouth being a different shape and the eyes are a lot smaller, but besides that, this plush looks the exact same as the other one. The helmet looks the exact same too, but it's just with slightly different colors on it. Overall, it's a shame that this plush was cancelled because it would have been a great plush to add to the set and was a super unique one. And it's just a shame that there was only 3 plushes ever released in this set because there was never another Garden Warfare 2 plush set. So if you want Garden Warfare 2 plushes, these are the only plushes that you could get from the game. The only other really Garden Warfare 2 plushes that exist are custom ones like the Citron, but yeah, that's about it. And there's a lot of customs on like websites like Etsy of Garden Warfare 2 custom plushes, so if you do want some Garden Warfare 2 plushes that weren't made in this set, you could look on Etsy for them. But yeah, which plush in this set is your favorite? Mine's probably the Super Brains, but comment down below yours, and yeah, have a great day.